All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started with the presentation. Thank you all for joining us this morning. My name is Jobu Morsrow, and I am in the Planning and Development Services with the City of Boise. My colleague behind me is Brianna McNall, who is also a Business Process Specialist for the Planning and Development Services Department here at City Hall. So the reason we're giving these presentations all week long, and we have another one next Thursday after the big move, we are upgrading ePlanReview 9.2 that the city uses for the department review system. There are some new tools and views within the system upgrades, and we can expect this to go live Monday. As a final reminder, after this meeting at noon today, the current ePlan system will be offline as our IT department starts the migration over to the new upgraded system that will be live this coming Monday at the start of business. So currently within the system, when you look at ePlanReview, you apply for applications on the permitting and licensing site. And as soon as you apply for an application, for an electronic upload, you will get an email to invite to the case. That process has not changed. Every single time you upload or apply for an application, you will get an invite email. If you need to create an account within the ePlan system, there'll be instructions along with the temporary password to create that account and start the applicant upload process. So once you click on a link in the email, you'll simply arrive at the site. This is an exact copy of what to expect on Monday. It is very similar to what we have in the current system. We do want to remind you that the passwords and stored information that you have in the current system, if you have an account, will carry over to the new upgrade. Now, the one thing to remember, since this will be going to a new site and address, if you have any saved passwords or credentials, those may have to be re-entered. Your browser will not remember them in some cases. So at the bottom, you'll notice that there are a few video tutorials available on the login screen. These links also exist on several places on your applicant tasks. They are temporarily resourced links that are set up by the software owner to basically help the citizens navigate the system. And they will be available for the first couple months. So let's go ahead and log into my test account here. When you first log in, you'll notice that there's a general change in display here. So you get to the task page here and you see what you would expect for your tasks to complete. Over here on the left-hand side, we'll walk through more on these action items. If you click on the accept button, it auto accepts your task and will open up the task from that page. It's very similar to how this functions within the task link. The system will no longer ask you to confirm your acceptance of a task. That's going to be the main change within the upgrade. It will auto accept when you click the button or task name. So there's brief information provided about the project. And if you go over to the project tab, you'll have more information. So in this training video, you'll basically go over how to view these action items, which also are new to the system. And depending on the type of project, you'll be able to enter additional applicants on that project, which is another new feature. So if I want to go back into my task page and click on an accept button here, I'll get the applicant upload task that is familiar within the new system. You have your invite others tab at the top that basically allows you to invite additional users to your project. For building applications, it will be an applicant view only, where applicants are allowed to view, download, and review comments on an application. And for planning, applicants are able to invite full rights applicants to their project, where they can invite applicants who can do all of the view only processes, plus sign off on tasks and leave comments. Still, in the system, if you notice that you need to change a project over to a different applicant who is the primary contact on the record, you'll still have to call in to the PDS department, either planning or building, and a staff member can get that assisted to you. So we'll notice down here that the upload drawings and upload documents portion has been streamlined. So if you click on one of the buttons here, you'll notice that there is an option to browse for files immediately off the bat, compared to the current system where you go over to a file displayed to upload. Notice as we upload plans, there are fewer clicks to go to on the system. I believe I am uploading drawings. And if I go ahead and hit the Start Upload button, I'll notice this task continue. And once I am finished, I get a green confirmation prompt that is familiar throughout the system. So I'm ready to upload my documents now. If I browse for files, once again, I'm able to locate the drawings where I can select certain ones. Then I will continue down to notice that the file folders have updated with the recent uploads with a new status. And I continue to follow the step-by-step procedures to sign off on the task. Let's say I wanted to add an applicant to this record. I can add my colleague. And by clicking the invite user, what's happening is the system will automate a similar applicant invite email to the additional applicant to join the record. If they don't have an account, the system will ask them to create an account with a temporary password. Once they're able to click on the confirmation, they are able to click on the Upload Complete Submit Plans task page. Please allow, when you do sign off on a task, allow the processing spinner to complete. What is happening is there's a lot of connections being made. If you uploaded drawings and documents, it's taking all those uploads and submitting them to the project. You'll notice I did that all from my task page. If I go over into my project list, for users who are managing several projects at once, the home screen provides a quick view of your active tasks and current, past, and projects. So if I click on the home at the top, it takes me directly to this tab as well. Going over this, you'll notice that the columns at the top are adjusted, similar to what we have in the current system. You're able to filter out by case description if you're looking for a specific project. And you have your All or Recents tab over here on the right. We'll go over on how this has been improved. By default, you do get a chronological order from newest to oldest compared to the system. In the task menu, it does search a sort by oldest due date first. So if you have something that's outlining the plan reviewers are waiting for you to sign off, those due dates are going to be at the top. Back into the Projects tab. When you first log into the system, you'll notice that there's a Standard Tasks tab on the left-hand side. What this is for any legacy applications, so workflows created pre-2018. For the most part, you will not have to worry about that unless you're working on an older record that has had multiple plan reviews and cycles coming through. For the most part, you're going to be between projects and tasks. On the projects page, we'll notice that we went through the case description. You also have the case linked here for you to access under the similar navigation where it opens up the project for itself. So each of these action columns over here on the left-hand side, you'll notice will lead you into a particular portion of that project. When you do click on or hover over one, you'll notice that the description opens up for you to view. Let's say I wanted to click into the files of this project. It takes me directly into the Files and Documents tab of the project. In the current system, the Files tab is located within the Tasks page. Now, each of these options have been broken out into their own view. When you're looking at the files, you're going to be able to see a quick view, and you can validate correct information by simply clicking on the icon. You'll notice that in the new system, we do not have thumbnails. That has gone away. Instead, for ease of navigation, there is a file info or history option where you can click on this button and see a preview of the files you've uploaded. You're able to continue back and forth in a view-only mode. On this page, you'll notice the specific file information, how it was uploaded, either Adobe or Bluebeam, and your version history dropdown shows the versions that have gone through. If you have a history of that file, since I just uploaded these files, it's going to show that I have uploaded it with my test account, and the file view history has been increased as well. I can open up the file directly from here on this link, or if I click on the thumbnail, it opens up the file into a viewer. Currently on the HTML5, I'm navigating this off of Google Chrome. Any updated browser should allow you to use the full functions of zoom and zooming out edit functions. If I go ahead and close out of this window of the file, I return back to the thumbnail view. Another really neat option within the system that has been enhanced is the binder view. If I check all my drawings and then select a view checked files in binder, I'm able to open this up and revisit the files within a collided view. I'm going to go ahead and close out of that view. And let's say I wanted to do another awesome tool and check a few files that I want to send off to a colleague. If you select the files and then go up to the top of your tool menu, you'll notice that there's a copied selected file name to clipboard option. Clicking on that option will give you a green confirmation and allow you to paste those file names into a notepad or email or messaging device or platform. So if I go back to the home option at the top, I'm done looking at the files. The home option now has revisited this all or recent tab. If I click on home from inside of a project, it will remember where I was at on the projects tab. In the current system, if you click on home, it goes back to your recents instead of your projects, having you to click more. So this has been enhanced to be able to streamline that navigation. The next option over within the action column, since we just revisited files, we're going to view the Project View Edit button. And this is just a snapshot of basic information that came through from the application, case number, description, location, and the contact on the record. Going to go back and hit the Home button and view the next tool item, which is the Project Reports option. If I click on the Project Reports, it opens within that Reports tab. I noticed that the last option went into the Info tab. I'm in the Reports tab for this BLD record. You're able to run reports that can give you a sense of what emails were sent or what reviews have been completed. If I go back into the Home option, I'm going to notice that the next action column is actually a new page within ePlan. If you click on the Project Status option, you will notice there is similar information to the info option, but more of a broken out detail with duration. So you have your review type that's being done on this record, the total number of files that have been uploaded, and then you have a breakdown between the time elapsed since the project was created and the time with jurisdiction, so the time it has spent with the city of Boise within review cycles and corrections, and then the time that is spent with the applicant with the 3 applicant tasks that applicants are expected to sign off of. You do have the current status of the project and how long it's within pre-screen, that first portion. At the bottom, you'll notice that there is a workflow routing slip task or report. You can click on the report link or the view report button, which will open up the report. From this tab, you'll notice that there is a workflow routing slip breakdown of the information that's on the status tab, along with what reviews have been done or current cycle that's being done. We'll notice up here at the top, there is a discuss option that's currently not an available function within the ePlan system. Possibly into the future, when we do more updates, they will enhance this tool. I just navigated over to the Files tab, and I'm still within this project. If I click on the Home button, it takes me out to the main page. At this portion, if I were to go over and view the task menu, I can obtain that task off of the page here. And we are going to advance and say that I'm now going to look for a pre-screened correction task that I have on a planning record. So on the pre-screened planning task, I'm going to go back into the projects and look up a SUB for planning. And notice that there is my pre-screen correction task and the create due date listed with the case number. Once again, I can click on the case number or go into the action item, which is the last one I'm going to display. And that takes you into simply the tasks page of the project. This is familiar to what we have in the current system. Once again, you have an accept button and a pre-screen comments task link. Both will open up the task for you to accept. If you notice down here below the workflows, this is a great tool to be able to see where you're at within the process. If you click on the Open Workflow Designer, it will open up in a new tab. Side note, very important thing, on Monday, when you do log into the new ePlan system, make sure your pop-ups are enabled for this version. Since it is a new site, your pop-ups might be blocked, and you'll notice if you're on Google Chrome at the top right, them blocking. So we're going to look at this workflow designer. If I maximize this portion of ePlan has not changed with the upgrade. You're still able to see where the process is in your review. You're able to open this up and the process continues through. If you see the green where it's at right now, this is what portion of the review is being at. So we're at pre-screen corrections. You'll notice that there's a color scheme now. Anything in white is automated and happening by the software through automation. Anything with blue is where the applicant has the ability to sign off on tasks and make corrections. Basically, it's in your court. And anything in yellow is where the City of Boise staff members are signing off and actively conducting reviews. So we'll notice on this planning workflow, it's at pre-screen corrections. If I go ahead and close out of this page, I'll notice my pre-screen corrections task there. If corrections are required before your pre-screen can be approved, you'll receive another task invitation. So another email will be sent out to notifying you of this task. So I can go ahead and hit the accept button. And at the very top of the pre-screen corrections, I still have the invite others option, except with a building application, we noticed it was applicant with parentheses view only. With planning, they're allowed to invite full applicants to the record. So we'll notice that there are coordinator comments below step 1 of 4. This coordinator comments tool is the option to review comments and coordinator requests before submitting changes. So I can go ahead and click on this review comments and see that there is an information only. If I were to do the department, I see that there is a drop-down box. They approved all drawings. I can go ahead and close. To the right, we'll notice that there's an export to Excel option and export to Excel responses. We're going to revisit that with the applicant resubmit task. I have the ability to respond to the comment. And then from this option, I can revisit the uploaded files and drawings. I can delete anything that needs to be done. And throughout the process, if reviewers are uploading agency comments from Public Works or any other review comments agency, you'll notice that you have view rights to see those comments. After submitting your comment and option, you're able to simply click on the checkbox and hit Resubmit Plans. Before I sign off, I actually realize I need to upload another document. If you click on the New Files option, you're able to use these buttons that we saw before. I'm able to use the Upload Drawings option. If I browse for files, once again, I'm going to make a correction here. And say that my trash enclosures plans missing. Once I start the option here, I will notice the file is successfully added. By looking within my drawings, I have a new status for that. Now I'm ready to sign off and resubmit plans. There is a confirmation at this step here that you are signing off to start a new review cycle. As this processes, I'm going to minimize. And if I refresh on my task, I will notice my task drop off the list. So another awesome, neat feature within the system that we want to showcase today is the ability to access ePlan off of the permitting licensing site. So I'm going to go ahead and log into my test account on permitting and licensing. After your pre-screen is approved, you'll receive another email letting you know that your pre-screen is complete and fees are now due. So there are a few exceptions. Certain applications have fees due at the end of the project. Constantly, you can review that information off the PDS website along with the process, and also reach out to the department staff to get a clear confirmation of where that is going. So once you log into your permitting and licensing account, you can find any of your projects with fees due on the ePay page by clicking on the Home button, entering your record number and using those. Now, while you still get an email notification when the task is assigned, you can also access this information from the permitting licensing site. So let's say I have a resubmittal that I need to submit as an applicant. It's already gone through the first round of reviews. I have corrections to make. If I go under My Records, I'm going to look for a BLD 1001 that has a return to applicant status. So I'm able to click on this return to applicant status record by clicking on the green icon. Allowing this to load. I get to the record detail page. This is where you can pull inspections, pay fees directly on this record without using the ePay tool. And then starting Monday, the 21st, you will have a plan review button here. When logged into the system, if you are on the record within ePlan as an applicant listed, you will have the ability to view the same options off of ePlan by simply clicking on the available links. If I click on View Review Comments, it opens up a portion of the ePlan project case. You'll notice at the top that there is no header to access other records. This is just for this record view. So from here, you can review the reviews that have been done on the cycle, see any unresolved comments that have gone through, any change mark items. You can also sort by department, and then also show the response as unresolved. So you have plenty of options up here at the top. Another awesome feature that I always like to showcase is looking up by keyword, which is a function that performs on this page, kind of like a control find. You're able to sort by the keywords. Depending on the project, you could have multiple pages on this view. From here, you're able to access the other tabs that we saw within the project. If I wanted to go into files, I can view the files along with versions that have been completed on these. If I click on the version number, it opens up the preview with a comparison. I can go ahead and close out of this. Your tools are still here, along with your reviewed by option, which allows you to enter in a file name now if you wanted to really narrow it down. And auto sort that down to a single find. You're also able to see any reviews that have been done also on the status page. The reason why the status page looks very similar to what you see on the ePlan site is it's because it's the same information that is available to the applicants and their view-only attendees on a project. So they're able to view this information on this page from the permitting and licensing site. And then from here, you also have, if I wanted to close out of this window, you also have the option to accept the Resubmit Task page. So if you open up the Resubmit Task, I'm ready to complete my task. I've reviewed the comments on the record. What this is doing when I clicked on that link is it is actually accepting the task, and it opens up the task for you to complete. Once again, you have the ability to invite others. You also have, when you have this task, the ability to remove users from the project if you realize they no longer need to be a part of the reviews. You'll notice that there are 5 unresolved comments on this page. You can review the comments, which opens up this page. And also use the same sort functions. This page is going to become very vital within the new system. All the comments that are being made between reviewers will also be here for the applicants to view. I'm going to go ahead and close out of the window. And we want to showcase another new enhancement within the project, which allows you to export all these comments off this review comments page into an Excel format. So if you have multiple comments that you need to respond to, and you want to be able to share the document and the responses without having to go into ePlan, you simply export to Excel. Depending on the size of your comment sheets, this may take longer. You can open up your downloaded Excel sheet. And from here, you'll notice that you have a field to enter in those comments. So I noticed that the reviewer listed here uploading a new plan with required fixtures. That was my last applicant who responded. And then the reviewer left this comment here missing the following fixture identifiers, you can simply respond by entering open text. You're able to simply apply that same comment over. I'm going to say I fixed the clearance on that. And you can leave the comments here. And once you're finished up with the comments, you're going to notice that I left one open. I'm going to save this page. And if I import my Excel responses, I can browse for the file, find it here. And as this processes, it's uploading my responses directly into the review comments. You're allowed to import multiple views. This just gives you a summary of the 4 responses inserted. There's one response ignored because it was an info-only status. And I'm going to go ahead and close. If I do the review comments option, now I should see those responses imported into the comments field. Once again, this is being accessed through this page here. You're also able to view the uploaded files on this tab. If I do not have a task to do, there'll be no task available here listed. Your record status will also serve as a place to track the record. Underneath the record info, you'll notice that there is a processing status that also shows timestamps of where things are being submitted. If it's an applicant resubmit task, it's going to sit at assigned reviewers because the reviewer is waiting to receive your task. If I go back into this page, it's now loaded and my responses have now been listed over here on the right. If I were to add another response, it auto saves that response into the field. I can simply go in to edit it again if I need to. You can have the ability to ask a comment or question. Which will show up for the reviewers in the next round when they accept the task. You're going to go ahead and close out of the window. Since I have this open in my other tab, I'm going to go back over here. Now you do have this version files option over here on the left. You'll notice that are your files uploaded with the name as the prior versions. So I'm going to demonstrate this now. I'm going to upload the new files I need to. First, starting with drawings. Once again, similar following the streamlined format. I'm going to notice that any versions for my fixes are now in blue. Once I click Start Upload, that will be done. Now, if you'll notice, I changed some of the name. I kept the names to a version over, and they show up as the newest and latest version of those names. If I go up to version files, this option here, and I notice that some of them are uploaded in their versions, but they're not named exactly from the previous cycle, I can click on the No option. And what this does is it allows me to check which files I recently uploaded or have within the projects. You can sort by files with markups. And on this page, I can edit which one is a review. I'm going to update that version over. And if I go back into all project files, I'm ready to start the upload. of that updated file and close out of the window. And I'll notice that under here, I have an additional version over that file. So your files do not have to be named exactly. There's an additional tool there to manually override the version. Once under here, you'll see a breakdown of department review status results before you're signing off by checking the 2 confirmation messages. And then step 4.4 is to resubmit the plans. No confirmation prompt. The spinner will continue. Once again, it's important to allow this processing spinner to continue, to not move away from the page. Doing so will allow the process to continue. If I revert to refresh because it closed out of my task window on the permitting and licensing site, I'm going to notice that my status hasn't changed because it has not been accepted. But if I go over to your plan review task, I now do not have a task review. And your resubmit receive task for the plan reviewer is now active. This also shows the amount of time it's been waiting in their queue. You can view your review comments along with any view-only applicants can also view them from this page as well. Logging back into ePlan, I want to showcase a few footnotes to this presentation. A few additional items. If you hit the home, since I logged out, I'm going to sign back in. When you first log in, you can still search for a case number by using the case number icon search to find the available projects, but you also have the ability to do a global search for your projects that you have access to in the past. Notice I have access to a few sign records. If you click on one of those links, it will pull you into that project. The item to the left of the global search is the full search option, which allows you to do a content search with file names. And you also have the ability to search by location within the system. It is simply using the location search. Once I have an address that has records, it will show. Let me try a next address. This address has 5 records total. And I can also display multiple pages. From here, you can select a building project or record. And it will open up that project. Since we're still waiting on moving over a lot of the data, some of the information cannot be found. So from here, you also have your standard create date. This is a helpful tool to see when a project was created, and once again, sortable. At this point in the presentation, we are ending 5 minutes a little early. We can open it up to additional comments and questions. I see there's been one answered question by Brianna. And will you still get emails about uploading plans? You will get email at every stage of the applicant task, especially when you have to upload plans. While you all think about additional questions within the system, there are resources for this project and implementation are online at the PDS website. And if you go to the PDS site and look for the ePlan page, by navigating to the site and clicking on the ePlanReview tab, you'll notice that there is a breakdown of what the implementation looks like. Here, within the hour, we are going to shut down the current ePlan system and start the data migration over at noon. It will be offline throughout the weekend as we migrate over. And then on Monday, the start of business day, 8 o'clock a.m., We will upgrade and open up to the new 9.2 system. You'll notice that there's ePlanReview Documents tab here. If you view the documents, all these guides will be updated with the migration. Back into the ePlan tab here, you'll notice that there is additional trainings that are being offered. We will have a post-implementation training video similar to this today, where we are opening up to more comments and questions and any Q&A features that you need help with after migration. That will be next Thursday, 11 to 12 p.m. Access to the record and to the permitting and licensing site will be restricted all weekend. Users will only be in the view-only stage. If you have inspections to pull, fees to pay, we do offer walk-in fee payment or inspections over the phone. Back into our Q&A slide. Here's our contact information, but on that ePlan City of Boise site also is our emails listed there for any additional comments or questions that you might have along the process. It could be next week, it could be 6 months down the line. Always welcome to reach out to Brianna or I for those hard to answer questions.